This is our lesson number 121, Ways of Greeting in Spanish. In this lesson, I will show you the most common ways of greeting in Spanish. We will see the formal ways of greeting and the informal ways of greeting. Hola or hello is the most frequent way of saying hi, the most used, and can be used for formal or informal. Hola. Buen día means good morning. Buen día. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Good evening or good night. In Spanish, there is not two different ways of greeting for good evening and good night. So, buenas noches is used when we say hi, when we greet somebody hi or goodbye in the evening, and also when we say good night when somebody's going to sleep. Que tengas un buen día. You have a good day. Que tengas un buen día. This is the informal way of wishing somebody a good day. What shows us that it is informal is that the verb you have, tengas, has an S at the end, and this shows us that it is conjugated for the subject pronoun you, but the informal you. In Spanish, we have a formal you, that is usted. Usted is formal for you, but it conjugates the same as he or she, so the conjugation changes. Que tenga un buen día. This is the formal way of wishing somebody you have a good day. Que tenga un buen día. You can see there is an S less here in the verb que tengas. The formal pronoun usted in Spanish is used when we address somebody we are not acquainted with. That is, when we are greeting somebody in the street or in a shop, somebody we do not know, we are not acquainted with, or also somebody that is hierarchically superior to us, or somebody that is much older than us and with whom we are not related, right? It's also a way of keeping distance. For example, if we have a boss and that boss wants to keep a distance from his subordinates, he will require to be addressed in the formal way. So we have to address him as usted and not as tú. Buenas. This is an informal way of greeting somebody for any time of the day. Buenas means good, but buenas is an incomplete sentence because buenas is still lacking the word that follows, either buen día, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. So buenas is incomplete, implying that it can be any time of the day. So it can be used for in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, usually for saying hi, not for saying goodbye, but it is informal. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? ¿Cómo estás? This is informal, as you can see, because the verb estar finishes with S. It is conjugated for the informal you, tú. ¿Cómo está? Or ¿Cómo está usted? How are you? and this is the formal way. In Spanish, the verb already has implicit the subject pronoun. So the conjugation of the verb can show us who is the subject. That's why in Spanish we can choose to say or to omit the subject pronoun, okay? So, ¿cómo está or ¿cómo está usted are both correct and they mean the same thing. Chao, bye. Chao means exactly bye, and it is used exactly the same. It is the most frequent way of greeting somebody bye. Ciao ciao also means bye bye. Adios, goodbye. The same as in English, adios is a bit more formal than ciao, but also has the connotation of a more permanent bye. So we usually say adios to somebody we think we might not meet very soon. Hasta la próxima. Hasta la próxima means I see you next time, or literally until the next one. Hasta la vista means the same thing, but a little bit different. It literally means until the seeing, or until we meet again. Hasta luego. Hasta luego is one of the most common ways of greeting. It means I see you later. Hasta luego. Hasta pronto. Hasta pronto means I see you soon. Literally, hasta pronto means until soon. ¿Cómo ha estado? How have you been? This is the formal way, because the verb haber, that here is conjugated a, is conjugated for usted. ¿Cómo has estado? This is the informal way of saying how have you been. This is conjugated for the informal you. ¿Cómo has estado? Has is the verb haber conjugated for tú. ¿Cómo ha pasado? ¿Cómo ha pasado means the same as ¿Cómo ha estado? Which means how have you been? Formal. Nos vemos. This means until we meet next time, or until we meet again. Literally, nos vemos means we see each other. Now we have two more greetings that are more dramatic greetings, and they are not very much used. They are not so frequent. These are hasta siempre. Hasta siempre literally means until always, and we use it when we want to greet somebody or something that we wish or hope to repeat frequently, or somebody that we want to meet very often, or more likely a situation, although it's not a frequent way of speaking. Its opposite would be hasta nunca. Hasta nunca implies or has the connotation of something that we wish or hope not to see ever again. Literally, it means until never. Therefore, it is very rude and unlikely to be used to greet a person. So usually